So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the application I'm creating is invoice creation. The basic requirement of this application is to create invoices for the whatever the items that the customer is purchasing from a company, and to record the total amount of payment, and to send create an invoice, like to generate an invoice for the purchased items of the particular customer. So I will start by first of all declaring the roles, whatever the roles that are used for the application, whatever the roles we are going to use for the application. I will start by declaring the roles in the first place. Are these the same correct credentials? Maheshana, can you once tell me what the password for workshop end user?
Jayesh, to help in this.
And also
Mahesh,
for that,
even I need to check, Mahesh. If someone have, can you please share?
Maheshwari or Hemlaka, who worked on last time?
Rakesh.
Mahesh is not there. Maheshwari, you do use this application earlier.
Checking, sir. 1 second.
okay. Sorry.
Workshop at the rate 2022.
Thanks, Maheshwari.
W capital.
So let me start by declaring the roles. For this application, there are only two roles that we need. One would be the administrator, and the other would be the account. Accountant would be reporting directly to the administrator. And then let me create one user for accountant. Once I have declared the roles and users, I will start by creating pick lists, which are used for this application. And for this application, I have pinpointed 3 pick lists. Those will be account type, payment terms, and invoice type. Let me begin with creating the pick list. So while creating a pick Yeah. So in the account type pick list, I'm adding two values, that is domestic and international. When I'm adding a value, I'm also selecting the sequence order, so that this, whenever we call this particular pick list in a drop down, this is a sequence in whatever the order we have mentioned. In that order, that drop down will be coming. Also, in the list, also it will be displaying based on that same order.
Megan, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
What is the code you have given for the account type pick list?
It would be ACCNT_type, sir.
Why you have shortened like that? Is there any reason? It will be like account type itself, right?
Yes, sir.
Or ACC type. Why ACCNT type? No, just out of my
ACNT.
curiosity, I'm asking.
Sir,
No,
because
people,
yes, sir.
everyone, please short the code if it is more than 20 characters. If it is below 10 or 15 or even 20, don't shorten it. Please. It is looking like a spelling mistake. Whenever you are coding, which is giving little confusion to the other developers. Okay, please continue.
Yeah. Okay, sir. And I'm also creating another value, international. Now that I've already started the pick list, let me also create the remaining pick list as well.
And same rule for the pick list name as well. Use singular form, don't use plural forms. How we are giving the name for the data set, use the same rule for this. Instead
Okay,
of
sir.
creating a data set, we are using one single table for holding this bunch of values. Instead of creating many data sets for storing single values, we are using single table and we are using this key as a table name here. Hope everyone understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Now that I have created pick list, let me log in with admin once again. Log in into the client admin. Already keep my- So I'm logging in as admin as I don't have credentials in the client admin side. But whenever we are working on an applications, we have to work using our own credentials. I'll go to the user management. Let me create. Okay. So can I use the same credential to create the application, sir?
Your choice, Nagal.
Yeah. Let me add another user.
So basically, first we give one password, default password. Later, whenever user start working on it, they have to change their own passwords. Do not reveal your passwords to others.
So this is the default password I'm creating my account with. Let me log out and log in with my credentials. Yeah. So for the application, we need to first create the application. And for that, let me start by creating user story and the task. Now that I have created the task, let me start by creating the application. And for this application, I'm naming it as invoice generator. And code app.
Nagal, see, it's a small only, right? Give full name, not an issue.
Yep.
Invoice generator.
Invoice generator.
Not a big deal. Yeah. App is not required. See, it's
App is not
invoice
required.
generator.
Okay.
Choose on like.
And here in task, I'm selecting that invoice generator task. Now, let me create the data sets required for that application. So on the requirement basis of the application, first of all, we need to create a company, and one company would be having multiple bank details and multiple contacts. For that, I have structured the data set in the following way. And these are the fields required for the data set, like what the name of the data set, what are the fields, the type, and if there are any relations, what would be that relation and with which data set, and if there are pick list and which pick list. So let me just create the data sets accordingly. The name of the data set would be company. And I'm choosing the data set type as variable. because this is not a master, but there won't be many changes going on in this company data set. So I'm choosing it as variable. Okay. So these are all the default data, default fields already created in the data sets. Now I will be creating whatever the fields that are required in the data set. Taking the first one will be name. And as a company name won't exceed at a maximum of 100 characters, maybe 150. So I'm just declaring the size as 150. And we are going to search for, in the list, we are searching based on the name. So I'm selecting it as indexed. The next one will be next field I'm creating is address line, and as is the name is a little bit bigger, I want to short it by LNE. 18. I think line would be sophisticated. Yeah, it is. This is less than 20 characters, so we can keep it address line 1 itself.
Meghal.
Yeah, ma'am.
Veena here. So just take a pause, some pauses at some intervals and check if they are following the same or not. Okay, you can even throw some questions so that people will be back on track.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, just throw some questions or maybe something intriguing. So
Yes,
it
ma'am.
keeps them on the track. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So the next one I need to create would be zip code. Oh, sorry. Let me just create city. As city might not contain more than 100 characters in its name, I'm just giving the size as 100. Followed by, let me create zip code. For zip code or pin code, what would be the type for the freshers? My question is, if we are selecting zip code, which will be the type of the field?
Number, sir.
And why would it be number?
Number.
Why should we
Because
take
pin codes
Java?
are in numbers only. Sir. Numbers only.
Like hello. 5.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Team, was everyone okay with the data set? What currently Meghal did?
Yes, sir.
I feel I'm little bit confused with the address columns. Did you see the text area for the address line 1 and
Text.
line 2? Is it
Everyone,
a text or
please be
text
loud
area?
and come out with your questions. Everyone.
Address lines will be a text or text areas.
Text area.
Sir.
Because
Why?
Because
Why it is a
address-
text area?
Because
address
address
will
is
be
very
bigger
long,
now,
sir.
sir.
How much bigger you have seen the addresses in any of the applications?
Like house number, street name.
Yeah, it will be more than 255 characters.
No,
No.
no, sir.
And also we had, sir,
Is it text or text area?
it is text,
Text
sir.
area.
It is text, sir.
You create a text area, right? Why?
I just thought might be the freshers would identify that mistake and come up with the answer, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Jagdish is on a call.
Okay.
What are the freshers doing?
So I created this as text area so that I thought any of the freshers would point out that it might, as we are using 2 lines of address, it would be text and not text area.
Yeah, if it is only one address field, then only it should be a text area. If it is 2 lines of address,
it should be
it
text.
should be a text.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
And column name is also, it's address 1 and address 2. It's not line 1 and line 2.
Okay, sir.
Team, please point out if you feel which something is not correct, please point. Sometimes the mentors may intentionally wrote these kind of things to check whether you guys are following or not. Continue, Mega.
Yes, sir. So these 2 are actually should be text fields because we are using 2
And
lines.
it seems
of,
many of the people having doubts in dataset creations.
Yes, sir.
Not for you, Megal. I think for the folks, for the freshers or the trainees or the other members. It seems many of you having doubts in dataset creations. That's what you have given in your feedback forms. You can come up with your doubts or you can clarify it here. Don't please keep calm.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So as we are using 2 lines of address here, we can just simply give them as text fields. Let me delete those 2 fields. And whenever you delete fields, you should be hard deleting it as well. Builder, if it is given, yeah, here. You should always hard delete. Whenever you delete a created field in the dataset, you should always hard delete it. One, but and also for pin code, we can give number field because there won't be any kind of other special characters or texts given in the pin code or zip code. Next field I'm going to create is PAN and GST number. A quick question to the freshers: what would be the size of a PAN number? Like if you are creating a field for PAN number and GST number, do we need to specify size? And if so, what size do we need to specify it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a specified size for PAN number actually.
What is the size?
Generally, it will be 10-digit number.
Yes, sir. It's
It's 10, sir.
10.
So
Then
PAN
what
number
should be
would
the size for the PAN field?
10 only.
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
Because
sir,
it
10
is
only.
fixed, right? So 10 only.
Yes.
Yes. Size is fixed. As its size is fixed, we will be giving it as 10. And the same goes for GST as well. I think the GST's fixed size would be 15. I'm giving it as 15. Followed by yeah, the next one would be country. So when you're selecting a country, which one is it? Like we need to give a relation to a country master data set, right? Do we need to create another country data set, or how do we give a relation to the data set? Freshers.
We need to create the
Another
data set
data
and
set.
give the relation to that data set.
Do we need to create the country data set?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I request other than Maheshwari to answer the questions. Freshers, please come out. This is not a college class.
Let me just give relation to the data set without creating a data set. Because we already have a default data set, master country. We don't need to create another data set. Every client admin will have a master country data set by default, master country and master currency. And for that case, you don't need to create another data set for country.
Okay, sir.
Company.
Here I chose one-to-many relation. From the company data set to the country, I have chosen one-to-many relation, and the target data set is master country. So can any of the freshers or anyone point out what would be the relation, like to how many countries, how many companies would be tagged? Like what would be the structure of that relation? I mean, I'm asking what is the meaning of this one-to-many when I'm giving it from company to the country. Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It
sir.
is audible. Actually, we are creating a company details, right? So for one company, it is located in which country? So we need to select that country as one country, right? So for that reason, we are selected it as a one-to-many relation.
I'm asking to how many companies, how many countries would be tagged, and how many countries, how many companies would be tagged based on the way I given the relation. Have you understood that one? Like, have you understood how the structure of relation and the how the data sets are linked to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me to like what like in this, what is one and what is many? Which data set is considered as one and which data set is considered as many?
Country is considered as one and company is considered as
Company is
many.
many. Yes.
So in other words, one country could have multiple companies.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir.
what
Exactly.
is that what you say?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Megha,
Sir.
can you go to that relation?
Yes, sir.
Team, please be cautious while giving the identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but the names. Your name has to give you an idea which relation it is. If you are in a company, the field name of the country should be singular if it is one-to-many relation. That's the reason we are giving the identifier as company, country in the company data set. And when coming to the country data set, the relation is many to one to company, which means that in one country, you may have many companies, which means that the label, the identifier should be companies, not company in country data set. The key has to give you an idea that if it is plural, which means that that is an array, or a list of data, many data. If it is singular, which means that that is an object. If that is the case, what should be the label?
Hello, sir.
What should be the label now? If that is the case,
The label should be
it's not company, it is a companies.
companies. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it will give you like the label should be company and it will be an array based on your identifiers.
Yes, sir.
Team, please follow some best practices so that it will ease your development. By seeing the identifiers itself, you can say this is the relation with this field to this table like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
For example, and give the dataset name in the relational fields. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Example, you have educational details dataset, and you have two other entities called student and employee. Student will have an educational details and employee will have an educational details. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What should be the identifier in student table for the table field, the educational details table field? And what is the relation? Team, hope I'm not confusing you. We're having three data sets. One is student, the other one is employee, and we have educational details data set. Student is having an educational details as well as employee is also having educational details. Now, can someone tell me what is the identifier of educational details in student and employee, and what is the relation? Like the same, what is the identifiers and relations from educational details to employee and student? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hope my question,
Yes, sir.
you are able to understand my question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I answer this question, sir?
Wait, Megal. We have many
Okay,
folks, right?
Yes, sir.
I know the seniors can answer this.
Okay, sir.
At least if you don't understand, you can ask us. At least please raise your hands who didn't understand this, so that some other will answer this. Keeping quiet, keeping calm is not the good sign of the training sessions.
Akhil, Harisha, Bhavani, come up. Bharadwaj.
He already raised his hand,
Okay.
which means he don't know about this. That's fine. Good,
Jyoti.
Bharadwaj. We'll explain.
Okay, sir.
Jyoti.
Team, please be frank. Don't. If you say no, if you don't know, we won't say anything to you. We won't kill you. We won't.
Varalakshmi. Shivapriya, Sirivalli, come on. Speak something.
If you understand, you can explain. If you don't know, you can raise your hand.
Sir, can I answer? What
Yes,
I
yes.
understood, I will answer.
Yes, please.
Yeah, one student will have any educational details because 10th inter degree. So
Yes.
in that point of view, I'm saying that in student data set, we need to select the educational details as many and student as one. So one to many relation.
Okay.
So like in student data set, while giving the relation, so in the label we need to select the educational details as identifier, and the relation is
yes. What is the relation?
and the relation is many to one. So in the relation many will come, and in the relation data set label educational details, and and in the come to the field will be student only, not students, because it is one.
Okay, what about the others? Other data set?
Yeah, the same thing is
Employee.
yeah, the same thing will be for the employee also. One employee will have many educational details, so there also the label will be educational details, and relation will be many to one, and we need to select that relation dataset label as educational details, and employee as identifier fields.
Yes.
Yeah.
Singular employee
Yeah, yes,
in
sir.
educational details.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Singular employee and student, and don't prefix table names to any of your fields.
Yeah.
For example, it is not student educational details and student employee educational details. It's just an educational details. Okay. And we have observed that people are giving data set names giving as a prefix to the fields. In student table, they are giving student name, student class, like that. In student name table, it's just a name and class. Pawan, Akhil and Shivpri, I hope you understand what she explained. If still you are
Yes, sir. Yeah.
okay.
Yes, sir. I had forgot it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Please go ahead, Megan.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Once the data set is created, you can go to the data set and check the fields again if you want to recheck it. So these are the fields and the index, the sizes and indexes. I have given index to name because that is the most of the that is the thing most when we use to search. Followed, and if you want to add any more fields, you can click on builder, and from here on you can drag and drop the fields that you wanted. So now that I've created contacts details, let me create another data set, that is banking details data set. Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, but bank details may contains multiple bank details. So I'm giving the name of it as details. Is it right, or for the data set, I should just keep it as detail?
Details enough. Yeah, details.
Details.
It's not a plural name. Yeah,
Details.
Details is a singular and plural, both.
Okay. So one bank detail, one company might contain multiple bank details. And anyone, can you tell me, so for this, how should I give that relation? The requirement is very simple, that one company can have multiple bank details. So I need to give a relation to the company data set. So what would be the relation and how should I name the fields? Freshers, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you guys tell me how should I give the identifiers and what's the relation I need to select? So right now I'm in the bank details data set, and from here I'm giving relation to company data set.
Company will be the
Company
label.
label, sir.
Label will be company.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Relation is
Relation is one to many.
Okay.
One company, many bank details.
Target data set
Company.
company, sir.
Company or
Invoice
Invoice company.
Invoice company.
okay.
bank
And
data.
here
Bank
Details.
details.
bank
Details. Details.
Yes,
We
sir.
are currently in which data set?
we are currently in the bank details data set, sir.
Okay.
So here we have type bank. Yeah. So I'm giving account number. So is account number considered as a text one or a number field?
Text, sir. Text number.
Why is it considered as text?
Because account number have both number and text.
It is alphanumeric. Yes.
Yeah, alphanumeric.
Account number. So if you feel like this is very big, you can simply short it account NO. And even account number has a fixed set of characters, right? Like it should not cross over 20 or 25. So let's make it as 25. And I'm also enabling index because we can search based on account number. Maximum, we'll search based on account number. The next one will be bank name. As we are already in the banking details data set, the name should be either, which one should we name it as, bank name or just name?
Just name.
Just name only.
Just name.
Name only.
We are in the banking details, right? Is
Yeah,
it just
yes.
name?
Yeah. Just name.
Okay. Or is it correct? I think that is correct. Any of the seniors, they want to answer whether it is correct or not? Hello? Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Audible.
Yes, sir,
Yes, yes.
audible.
Then let me just create. Okay. Let me just create it by the name itself. I feel like this is the wrong thing. Next branch IFSC.
Srivali, can you mute yourself?
So here the type would be a pick list. So I'm giving it as a choose. And that is account type. And the relation would be 1. Let me create the remaining data set. Let's see. And the next data set will be contact. Contact already exists, but just rename it as invoice contact. Yeah.
Naga, total, how many data sets are there in this application?
Sir, in total, there are like a lot of them. We can short it to up to 6 data sets.
Okay.
I'm just creating the data sets only required for one page, sir. With the contact data set, it will be done. I think for the most of you people, the image field is new. So here, when you are adding an image field in the data set, you have to mention the dimensions of the image. On which dimensions, based on which dimensions the image has to be saved. For me, let's say, as it's a signature, I would mention the dimensions like if it the height should be 100 and the width should be 200. So whenever you are saving an image, that image will be compressed to this particular dimensions, and it would be saved in this particular dimensions only. And it is a mandatory thing that whenever you are adding an image field, you have to mention the dimensions. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Finally, the relation to company. Now that the data sets are already being done, let's go to the building of pages. Here I'm building the page using a wizard. So I'm selecting the application and we need to also create a module. So for this, I'm creating in that invoice generator application, I'm creating the first module, new module. The task will be invoice generator. The sequence order of the modules defines the sequence on which it comes. Like for example, if you see, roles come on the top, after that users, masters, and communications. This order will be defined by mentioning the sequence order. Okay, guys, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Later in the company, I'm selecting a master page as user, create from data source. So here I can just create the application using invoice company data set. Okay. In this, in the first create form, I'm creating it as a page. The name of the page will be create invoice company. Here I can also give the code of the page. Next is an access-based company and page, sorry, not company. It is not in menu and it is not default. Here I'm selecting the fields. And remember, whenever you are selecting a field, selecting the fields for creating the forms or list, the order you select the fields is main, because that is the order that it will be generated in the form. The fields will be generated in the same order. So here I'm selecting as name, then address line 1, address line 2, city, pin code, GST, PAN. After that, bank details. In the bank, I'll select account number, type of account, bank name, branch, IFSC code. And as it is a multiple, we have to select manage. Okay. The same goes with contacts. Contact person name, contact person email, phone number, digital signature. Okay, city, after city, I should have selected country. It's okay, we can reset that fields directly in the page builder side itself. Then for list, this would be is menu, because we will be seeing the list in the menu, and I'm giving the order as 1. If you don't select access based and public access, it will defaultly take it as session based. So whoever logged in into the session can access the page. If you mention it as access based, then you have to specify which roles can access the page. Okay. And here, when for displaying, I'll just select name, GST, and particular guy's country and city. And this details page would be view page. We can create it as a pop-up. Okay. Oh, sorry. We have to select the fields. It also contains the same order itself. You don't have, you have to maintain that the order you select the fields will be the order it will be created in the page. Okay. Details. And if you guys think it is a bit confusing, always enable separate call. For any table which is multiple relation, enable separate call. Okay. And if you think giving it would be a bit confusing, then after selecting the fields, minimize that particular relation. Okay. Next, so let me just 1 second. Select the same thing.
Naga, sorry to disturb you.
Yes, sir.
Time has left. So finish it up. What you've done up to now.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Next. For any APIs that would be created, we can give the pair conditions. For now, I think we can skip all these things. Yeah. Once it is done, those pages will be created. See, if you see the invoice company and invoice create company and list page has been created. So we need to give access as they both are access based. Usually when you give access, you will be clicking on the company name, like the page name, and you will be going here and giving access. But there is also another way to give access, and that would be in the user management end user roles. If you select the particular role that you want to give access, here they will get to see all the pages. And from these pages, you can simply search for the pages that you want to give access. Select those pages, save access. Simple. For any role that you want to give access, you can do the same. This would decrease the time to give access to the pages, as you can simply select the pages and give the access all by once. Okay. Let me go to the application. Here, as you see, I got that application. And if you go to the application, here is the add the list page. And again, why is it not coming? Yeah. You created this one as a page, right? One second. It's created as a page. Yeah. This one is created as a page, but it is coming in the pop-up. Sir, hello, Mahesh sir.
Megal. Megal, fine, enough for here.
Yeah.
We'll continue next session.
Yes, sir. So the pop-up and the list has been already created, and from here you can also add your data, select the countries. See, the drop-down itself also has been created, and also the table and its fields also you can add directly from the page itself. Yeah. This way you can create pages using wizard. Okay.
Yeah, done. Thank you. So we'll continue this task in the next session. Thanks for your cooperation. Hope you guys got some knowledge on today's session. So what you've seen, do practice on in your test application scene, but not get new application. You create a new task like that. Okay, go through it. Maybe you will receive this video also, right? So try to finish the task by end of the day if possible. So whatever he is doing, and try to do practice same. In the way you can learn it very fast.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any questions?
Okay, sir.
No. All are genius. I think no one have questions. That's great, really. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye. Bye, everyone. Pravina, you can end the session. Pravina? Hello? Sandeep? I think,
Mahesh, can you hear me?
yeah, you can end up session.
Yes, yes. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Thanks Mahesh and thanks Meghal. Thank you, Jagadish.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Hope
you, sir.
everyone
Thank
will
you.
share their feedback.
Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay, ma'am.